Microphone check. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is HolyJoe Rock and Roll. This is live. This is unscripted. Let me get this off my face. Whoops. Welcome to the man cave. How you like my man cave, people? Hang on a second, people. There's a server in the background running, and I can hear it, so you probably can hear it also. Let me just shut it down. It's on a different computer. Last time I did use this machine and this setup, I didn't hear that server. So it's really weird. Maybe the microphone was in a different position. No, this. Hit it. Log in. Come on. System. Shut down. Okay. We're live. All right. Okay. That server should be shutting down soon. This is HolyJoe Rock and Roll. Welcome to the man cave, people. I wanted to just talk to you today. It's Sunday, October the 8th, 2017. You know, there's not a lot of new news regarding what happened in Las Vegas. And what they like to say is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but obviously that's no longer true. There's a lot of still outstanding questions, and we still don't have information on it. Now, obviously, it's Sunday here, and perhaps next week we'll get some new information. But the last we checked, the sheriff in charge of the investigation said that they were looking into radicalization, which to me implies that they found something that would imply some kind of radicalization, whether it be hashtag Islam sucks balls radicalization, which ISIS has claimed, or whether it be some other type of radicalization such as Antifa or anti-Trump, TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. Any of those are possible. We don't know. I mean, as the video I did, the first video I did on this topic last week in the news, you know, try to discuss the idea of a 64-year-old man who apparently by all earthly measures is wealthy, right? Obviously he's a poor ass motherfucker because he has no kids, he has an ugly ass girlfriend, and you know what I'm saying? Think about it. Think about it. What would they say? Money can't buy you love, but this one comedian said it could buy you something so close you won't even care. But apparently that's not true, right? As we can see in certain instances like this, where someone who on the surface appears to have everything but is, you know, apparently unhappy, right? Now that's another question. I mean, really that's the existential question of how do you define success, and what is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of your life? And we don't know. We really don't know. I'm trying to not make a judgment on the guy because we really don't know what the deal is, right? So that's important to remember. The other question is, what did his girlfriend know and when did she know it, or other people? Now there is this information out there that's saying that she claimed that he was, you know, crying in his sleep or screaming in his sleep, having nightmares or something like that. What is that? What is that all about? Not even sure what that pertains to. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'll be right back. this. I'm on this. Oh, the stack. Here. Oh, it's not too good. Ah, man. Guess the extra lighting is no longer there. Changes how things appear. Okay, hopefully you guys can see me okay, and the sound is not too bad. Although this microphone is picking up so much freaking noise. What is it picking up? At least I can hear it in my headphones. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Probably, maybe not. I'm not really seeing a signal on the system here. Oh my God, man! That's what happens when you do this thing live. I just assumed everything would work as it did the last time, but it's not. So here we are in the man cave, and I'm going to open it up. Let me get my Skype up. If anybody wants to contact me on Skype, it is holyjoe rock, holyjoe rock, and we can communicate over Skype. If anybody wants to talk. Hey, I see a new request. Hey Jacob, I know you're not on, maybe not on right now, but I see your request for Skype. I've approved it. holyjoe rock is the screen name, and man, I apologize. I really got out here early. I really normally set everything up before I come on, but today I just said, look, I haven't been on live for a long time, and I really wanted to get on and do something live. Oh, man. Just checking the chat real quick. The YouTube chat. Gotta bring that up. Live streaming. Streaming health is green. Live chat. Not now. Okay. Gotta pop out the chat. How do we pop out the chat? I've done this so many times before. Oh, pop out chat. All right. Yeah, this is, I'll probably do a video on the technology that I have here. It is super, super inexpensive, super low cost, budget, super budget. You heard that microphone. You know, now most people have the microphone in their face, right? This microphone is so badass. It is so sensitive. And excuse me, I'm going to just move it for a second. It is so sensitive, and the microphone that I'm using, and it cost about $100. And it's an incredible microphone, honestly, an incredible microphone, and I would recommend it. My setup right now, I've got a 2011 MacBook Pro, so it's got an i7 in it, and I really don't know that I need the i7 so much as I need the graphics card to be able to do the multi-screen, you know, live. Probably it would work with an i5, sure, But and the motion is pretty good. This is 720p, so 1280 by 720 pixels. 1280 by 720 is how I'm broadcasting. And the microphone, a mixer board. Mixer board was about $100. It's USB, which is very important. And what else? What else can I say? That's it. So microphone, mixer, USB mixer, and the laptop. Now, if I had extra cameras, which I plan to incorporate additional cameras into this, you know, you could do some cool stuff with the multiple camera stuff. So I haven't done any live chats in a long time, and this is pretty boring so far. Well, how far are we into this thing? Almost 14 minutes. Almost 14 minutes. So I'll put a link in the bottom. Probably start watching at 14 minutes. Okay. For those of you. So we talked about Las Vegas. We don't know really any additional information, and I think obviously people are holding back, and it may be part of their investigative strategy to not reveal their hand. And we can certainly understand that, but you know, the public is certainly wanting to know what's going on, what do they know, and that's really frustrating that we don't have answers. Now, I don't know if we should discuss this. There's a whole spectrum of people. I would even call them experts, just people. People who have opinions. You know, they say opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Excuse my French, but we're in the man cave, right? Huddle up, guys. Guys, huddle up. Huddle up. You guys want some cognac? Got some yak? Got some cognac? We'll be over here, behind the bookshelf. It's a secret door. Open that up. There's a couple of bottles, so just pick yourself up what kind of yak you want. Or some wild turkey bourbon. What else? Tennessee whiskey. Okay. Where was I? I'm just totally live and unscripted, people. Trying to warm back up. Oh, so okay. What are the various opinions? So let's look at some of them. I don't know that I need to name names, but you probably know who it is. One rather large person who I sometimes follow him quite often. Usually has some good stuff. Thinks that this was a deep state operation, right? A false flag, in a sense, to maybe start a race war or start some kind of a war. And the deep state is behind it. That there were multiple shooters, right? Seems to believe that there's multiple shooters, and you know, we're being lied to, right? That's one side of the story. The other side, or one opinion. Another opinion is, of course, that it's just one guy. Now, did he have a belt-fed machine gun? Apparently not. Apparently he only had bump fire stocks. Apparently, but he had guns on tripods. So that's, you know, realistically, I would have to say, yeah, if you had that kind of a setup, basically shooting fish in a barrel, right? So it should, you know, there's no reason to not expect the type of carnage that happened. That's really, you know, what I want to say on that. There's really no way to not expect that to happen. Now, another opinion is that the dude just went insane. The dude went insane because of all the injustice in the world. Again, it kind of doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, if you really are upset with the injustice in the world and you've got $1 million, you certainly could set up a charity, or you could start doing other things that would help alleviate whatever pain or suffering that you've identified and you'd like to work on. So that's, I mean, look, you never know. You just never know. The interview with the shooter's brother was, I mean, bizarre doesn't even begin to tell you what that sounded like. The interview with the brother. That was just weird, man. And obviously the guy was not religious, according to the brother. He certainly was not a Christian. Some people are saying that this was Christian. white male Christian gun owner, and that's absolutely not true, right? Because there's no evidence of it, is what I should say. We don't know it's not true. There's just no evidence of it. The brother was saying this guy wasn't into any kind of religion or any kind of politics. So if that being the case, it's definitely not some white Christian male shooting. Now, what else? What else can we talk about? Some white Christian male shooting. Hey, 10-second delay? No, it's more than a 10-second delay. Hey, 10-second delay? Yeah, wow. This looks good, man. Look, I'm looking at the video in the delay. That actually looks pretty damn good, man. In the man cave. This looks good, man. Look, I'm looking at the video. All right. That looks pretty cool, man. I'm in the man cave. This video is looking really, really boss. It's looking really boss. Yeah. It's really, really boss. Let's push this out. Hey, we're 19 minutes and 11 seconds into this. This is Holy Joe Rock and Roll. This is a special live broadcast. Special call-in via Skype at holyjoe_rock. If anybody wants to Skype me. I'm just wondering if I've been put into the no man's zone, because I am definitely not seeing the type of traffic. Of course, it is Sunday night. It's 10:25 p.m. here. People are probably getting ready for work tomorrow, and I totally understand that and respect that. But a lot of people from the U.S., normally I would do this broadcast Friday or Friday night, Friday evening, like around 8 p.m. This time will be 2 p.m. So that's a little bit too early for people in the U.S. But look, we want to really thank our sponsors. I spent a lot of money producing this man cave, putting it together, picking out the mahogany, and making sure that the workers really stained that wood, really paid attention to the Italian detailing of the wood, as you can see. And no joke. So I want to thank everybody for your support. And you are welcome into the virtual man cave at any time. All right. So another thing that popped up on in the news is this whole Kaepernick. Is that his name? Kaepernick, the football player, who who has been out of work. For this is the person who originated or started up the take a knee bullshit. Okay, again, based on Black Lives Matters, which is based on Michael Brown, which is based on Hands Up Don't Shoot, which is a lie. So the whole movement is based on a fictitious premise that there was Hands Up Don't Shoot, and that white cops specifically are targeting black men hunting black men, that they're hunting black men, and this has just been proven wrong. And over again, and it's just horrible, to see this narrative being repeated by like an NFL football player, and then it expanded. But folks, if there's one thing that we learned from this, and I hope we have learned, if you're following my channel, you've heard me say this before, that a lot of these games and circuses, or circus bred in circuses, and this is not my original thought, but many people have said this over the years. This is like bread and circuses. This is a distraction for the masses, so that they're busy watching football and not paying attention to their jobs being moved to Mexico and China, right? It's a distraction, bread and circuses, okay? Now, luckily a lot of people have woken up. A lot of people have gotten red-pilled, and they see what's happening, and they see that this whole stuff, this collaboration between the deep state, Hollywood, and sporting, all these networks are owned by the same people, that this is the oligarchs trying to control the people. That's all it is. Just like the sexual revolution was really a way to control people. Now think about it. You might think, oh, sexual liberation makes me free. It doesn't. It actually makes you a prisoner, a slave to the system, to the oligarchs. Now, how is that? Well, one of the ways is if you're out busy effing around and not building a family, what do you care about a pay raise, right? You're into yourself, narcissistic. All you want is some things, and as long as you got a pretty decent salary, that's all you care about, right? For the most part. Now, some people might be more ambitious and want to be pushing the envelope, pushing their employers for more money. But let's be honest, if you have kids and you have decent employers, you know that it's not like you get free money, but there tends to be a little bit more, I wouldn't call it sympathy, even that, but you know, you yourself as a father are going to be demanding more money because you got to bring home the bacon, you got kids to feed, right? And you're going to work harder. And because you're working harder, you're able to usually demand better compensation, more money. And if you're blinded by bread and circuses and sexual liberation, you're not able to focus on what exactly is happening in the here and now and around you, and to provide for your family and ask for a pay raise, right? So that's where the negatives. Now, a lot of people are waking up, realizing that the NFL has become corrupted by this whole cabal, and that's why the ratings are down. Now, getting back to Colin Kaepernick, whatever this guy's name is, this mulatto man, he's seriously... Oh, man. We're getting a shake. And then he's out protesting Black Lives Matter when, you know, you could argue he's just like Obama, half black, half white. Whatever. Okay, the stream's coming back. But this is not cool. Definitely not cool. So the stream is coming back. Man, this is so pissing me off. So he's been reported that he will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. This Kaepernick guy will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance if he can play in the NFL. And look, what that says is Make America Great Again, hashtag MAGA and America First is winning. Okay, we are winning. Okay, I don't describe myself in any of these categories. I'm not alt-right. I'm not alt-light. I don't consider myself to be any of these categories. I'm just my own guy who actually has left the United States to pursue other. All right, so we're back up. I don't know if this is going to be a new stream. Hey everybody, welcome. This is HolyJoe Rock and Roll once again. I don't know if this is a new stream. I'm getting some serious issues. I am in the process of getting fiber optics, fiber to the curb, and once I have that, it should eliminate any of these kind of problems. Welcome to the man cave and in the news. Hey Wukash, Wukash, real quick, did you jump in on a new stream, or is this a continuation? This I had to shut down and restart the stream just for just took a couple seconds. I'm just curious if if you're coming in, do you see I don't know, maybe it depends on when you came in. I got green lights on all my Wi-Fi stuff, but for whatever reason the broadcast turned red, but now we're back to green. So no new information on the Las Vegas shooting. Okay, you were with the old, and I'm just curious, did you start a new stream? I mean, did you have to click on a new link, or did it just continue on by itself? So, just waiting for Wukash, if you have any info on that. I'm just curious, not that important, not critical, but if you can give me some feedback, that'd be great. Yeah, no real information, no new information on the Las. Okay, just started automatically. That's good to know. On the Las Vegas shooting, and there's really has been a what do you want to call it? Just a number of thoughts on motive and what was going on. Right? Were there multiple shooters? It's hard to know. Definitely one person with the right equipment could easily have done what he did. I mean, you're basically firing down on fish in a barrel. 23,000 people were in that open air concert. Now you are 1,100 feet away, and even if he's firing 5.56, it's still going to make it there. It's just obviously he wouldn't be able to target very effectively because that's over 300 meters, 330 meters. So who knows? I mean, for a guy who has no military training and apparently no other training, he's just spraying, pray, right? So certainly it is possible for one man to have done this. Okay, now did he have help? It's hard to believe that he did this by himself. Although it is possible, right? Now the goofy brother was saying, people were asking how could he have gotten all this stuff up to the room. And the goofy brother made a good point. Look, you show up with a bunch of bags, or you drive up with a bunch of bags, or whatever, and you tell the bellhop, "Hey, here's $100. I bring it to my room." Bellhop's going to do it. That's for sure. That's not even something that's in question or in doubt. Not even a problem. I don't have a problem with that explanation, okay, from the weird brother. But the possibility that this guy had help really, I think there is a really good possibility that the brother had help, or sorry, that the shooter had help, right? It's just kind of hard to believe that he did not have any help. That's really my only statement on that. There's got to be other people involved. That's all I want to say. Certainly is possible that he did it by himself, but it's just kind of hard to believe, right? It's kind of hard to believe that nobody else knew about it. So we're going to find out about that. Now, going back to the NFL, Kaepernick put out a statement that he is willing to play ball and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance if you can play. And what I was starting to say before the stream went sideways, or went pear-shape, as they say, when it went pear-shape, the signal went pear-shape. The pro, Make America Great Again is winning. It's definitely winning on this because he had to back down. And obviously he's not playing because he's not been playing very good. And he may not be playing very good because he's got this chip on his shoulder. This whole stupid crap. What was he thinking about doing? And was he thinking about running for Congress after his football career ended? I mean, it just makes no sense, and it's just not the place for these types of making these types of political statements. It's not the right place in a football thing, right? It's just not. So, SSD, that's where they were. So that's what's up with that, and it's hard to know what else we can talk about on that. Łukasz, anything you want to talk about, man? Oh, one thing that's happening in Poland, or what happened in Poland, was apparently, I didn't even know about this. I've been kind of just whatever, out of focus in many ways, working on some other stuff. But in Poland, to commemorate the 500-year anniversary of Poland kicking the shit out of #IslamSucksBalls as it tried to invade this area, there was many cities praying the rosary in public, thousands of people, and also there was apparently a stream of people along the border. They didn't say which border, and there I saw what looked like the Baltic Sea. So I don't know if they were in that area. I didn't look at the details, but there was stuff in my Twitter feed of thousands, really hundreds of thousands of Poles lined up along the border, also standing for border control, which is just amazing. And Jonah Cat, welcome. And that's pretty awesome, right? And that's really a positive thing about, that you might want to say a positive thing about nationalism or patriotism or just pride in your own country, pride in your people. And that's really one of the things that's really awesome about Poland and living in Poland, is that the people, regardless of what you might think about them, they love this country, they love their people, and they want to be free. And they're not going to take any shit from anybody, especially not the EU. And you may have heard that Poland has accepted over 1 million Ukrainian refugees over the last several years. Certainly since the Russian invasion, if you want to call it that, or the, you call it a Russian invasion, call it the coup d'etat, you know, started by the West, by the U.S., by the Obama administration, taking in over 1 million Ukrainian refugees, right? And Poland's not asking anybody for help, really, but on the and really isn't asking for other EU countries to take these people, take their fair share of the Ukrainians. No, they invited them in or allowed them to come in, and they're here and they're working. They're integrating pretty well, as far as I can tell. Whereas on the other hand, Merkel made the invitation that there really was no upper limit to the number of hashtag Islam sucks balls Muslims. First of all, it was Syrian refugees, but it turned into a flood of just refugees, mostly economic refugees, coming into Germany, coming into the EU. And now Merkel has, you know, there was a vote, I guess, in the council, but this is really an unelected, undemocratic council in the EU that said that they should take these people. And really, it makes you wonder, whose best interest do they have? Whose interest are they standing up for? It certainly is not the interest of the native peoples or the integrated peoples, integrated, yeah, no upper limit in Germany, to the peoples in Europe, right, in the EU. And Poland has said, look, we're not taking any of these Muslim refugees. They're not going to assimilate. We don't need them. They're not working. Hey, Krzysztof, welcome. And they're just not wanted here. They're not needed. And look, they don't want to be here. I mean, let's be honest. They don't want to be here. Poland did accept 300 Syrian Christians. Please use more light on you to fit in the scene. I mean, what I saw, okay, yeah, it's maybe a little bit dark. Let me try to fix that. Is that bouncing back the light? From what I looked at on my iPhone, the you know, delayed video feed looked pretty okay. Okay, yeah, it is kind of dark. Yeah, it is kind of dark. You're right about that. Yeah, so Poland is basically, so the EU has basically said they're going to sue Poland for not taking in these refugees, and Poland has said basically, look, you owe us $1 trillion for World War II reparations, right? Listen, I just love the way the Poles street fight, right? They're not taking any shit, and that's just the bottom line, right? You know, Europe, you know, Germans trying to, whoever trying to have some kind of high ground, moral high ground, trying to, you know, say that they have some kind of moral high ground, when they don't. They had no reason to take these people in. Now, you know, if Merkel would have said, listen, we will go to the UN refugee camps in Turkey or wherever, and we will select the so-called the doctors, the engineers, these so smart people, and invite them in to the EU, right? On the flip, you know, if all these people are so smart and they're in Turkey, for instance, why the hell would Turkey let them go, right? Turkey would say, let's put them to use. Let their oligarchs use these so-called high-skilled laborers in Turkey to help lower wages, lower their costs to do business, right? Hire all these, you know, desperate low-skilled people, or not low-skilled people, but supposedly high-skilled people, and that would lower wages, so the corporations would save money, right, and make more money, right? That's not what happened. Turkey let them leave until they were bribed to keep them behind, right? Several billion euros to keep these people from leaving from leaving, right? So it's totally messed up. It's totally messed up. Give me a second. Let me try to adjust this light, okay? Bam. Okay, we're back. We're back in the man cave. How's that? I mean, it's a little bit more light. Let me zoom forward. It looks a little bit better. Yeah, man, we're in the man cave, man. I spent several 100,000 zlotys to build this thing, thanks to a giant contribution and all of my Bitcoin that went gold. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yo, man, that's the technology, baby. That's the power of the green screen. I could be anywhere, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's the power of the green screen. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. I'm like, but it looks pretty badass, right? Now I don't know why there's not. There should be more light on my face. At least here locally, it looks brighter. I don't want it in my eyes, but mesmerize. There we go. All right, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's gonna. That's gonna be better? Yeah, there's actually now it's light kind of in my eyes. It's kind of hard to work, people. It's kind of hard to work with light in my eyes. Yeah, is that better? A little bit. Yeah, it's looking. I guess it's looking better. Now it's hard to see because the light's in my eyes. But yeah, this is badass, right? Listen, I'll do a video, and maybe it'll be on the Patreon page. I don't know, maybe behind the paywall. Get you guys to throw a couple of nickels my way. But listen, it's not that I'm a cheap MF. It's just that, look, I don't like to spend money if I don't have to. I certainly do spend money on a lot of stuff. What I think is important for my life, for my family, right? But it may be true. It may be true. No, it fits, man. It fits. I'm looking at this. The problem is that you're lighting, and first of all, resolution does not fit the background photo. I mean, the background photo is, it's probably like medium res. I think it's probably like 680 by 480. So it's not high res. It definitely would be cool if I had a higher res photo back there. That's for sure. But this was just a cool man cave photo that somebody had posted up saying, I forget what it was about. It was something on Twitter. And they were saying something about like, I don't know, like this is the new man cave, or the TV rooms are over. This is the new thing. And no, but yeah, it's good. Listen, Shishov, it's a good point. And this is really kind of freebase. I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of things. I usually was having a weekly live broadcast, and that kind of went away. I was really working on some big-ass deals, and they're right now just pending. So I have some free time, and I need to really get back into the rhythm of doing live stuff. And maybe in the short term, I might be doing daily live. Just do daily live. There's very little editing work, right? There's a lot of prep work in terms of prepping different shots if you want to do certain things. That's certainly what has to be done, is to prep the shots. But there's no post editing, right? There's really very little post editing unless I wanted to pull the video down and re-edit it. Yeah, we got LED lights in the backyard. It's for security. Yeah, it's for security, people. So nobody can get close. Nobody can get that close. You see that? Yeah, but okay, what I was going to say is this. Listen, I have a 2011 laptop, MacBook Pro, that I'm running off of, but it certainly could be a Windows machine. Let's say comparable Windows machine. Whatever. This is a 2011 MacBook Pro that I'm running off of. I got about $100 mixer. It's a USB mixer, so basically it allows the audio to come in directly into the USB port. I have a second monitor, which I think I probably actually paid about $100 for. It's used, but it's a high-res monitor, and the microphone with the cable, with the XLR cable, and yeah, you needed the mixer with the phantom power, the 48-volt power to run this thing. About another $100. So what are we talking about? Not including the computer. The software is free. I actually did pay the $29 for it, and there is a free open source version of this, but it's just too complicated. This one, for $29, you can have full access to the high resolution publishing, but for me, and until I get my fiber optics to this place, 780p is all I need. 780p? Yeah, 720p. 720p, so really the resolution should be 1280 by 720 pixels. And I mean, that's really the resolution. It's really about as high res as I think I need to go. One thing that I noticed, and you may have noticed this, when TV went high res, all of your favorite TV personalities, you started to see all the acne and the freaking pre-cancer scars on their face, and it's like, I don't need to see that. I don't need to see that stuff, right? So, I mean, I'm not saying I have acne. I don't have acne or any pre-cancer, although maybe, who knows, sunspots. But I don't think you need to see that stuff, right? So, really, today, really what I would do is, warm up the engine, make everything working. Check out the man cave, the new man cave. And I probably should do a couple of screenshots, like static poses. Make this the thumbnail in the man cave. Yeah, let me do that while I'm here. The man cave. Now the cool thing about this is, check this out. Watch this. If I want to switch, and this is the cool thing about this software. Now the audio should stay. Let me just do what's up here. Okay, the audio should stay. Kapow pow. And now we can get to the technical stuff, right? 102 presentation. You can see the chat here, live chat over there. Skype. Got my Skype window open. So really, very powerful software that I'm working on. Let me just turn to the camera over here in the man cave, and we're back. We're back in the man cave. But how cool is that, right? The software is pretty much free to use to 720p, at least it has been. But it was $29 to get the full license version, which I did pay for. And then it asked me to upgrade to a new version, and then it said that my license no longer was good. And I'm like, man, I'm only using 720p. I only paid the money because I wanted to support you guys, because I really like the software. And of course, what you saw was just setting up the shots, right? Setting up the shots. So what I'm trying to say is, anybody who's interested, and maybe I'll cut this part out, and put it separately, but anybody who's really interested in doing, and I have a green screen behind me, right? It's just a wall painted green, okay? A wall painted green, okay? Let me see if I could, let me see if we could pull back the curtains. Pull back the curtains for you for a second here. Here we go. Pull back the curtains for you guys. I just want to reveal the magic. The bone broth. The bone broth. Here's man cave. Oh, okay. Here's man cave. Why is that Anyhow, let's see here. Oh, turn it on. That's the camera. Interesting. I am able to... Oh, I see what's happening. If I push this out. Okay, now you can see the wall behind me, but because I have the chroma key on, that's why. So the chroma key is turning this black. Okay? How cool is that? So let me... Actually, so probably didn't have to turn this off. Could have left it on, right? And then just gone into this is on the... I'm surprised this is in the... whatever, there's layers. There's various layers. And I'm really surprised that this is Man Cave. Oh, a chroma key. I want to go into chroma key. Sorry. If I go into chroma key, which is this, and turn it off. There you go. Okay, here we go. Now we go. So now you can see what's happening. It's a green screen. I mean, it's literally a green screen, right? So, a green wall. A wall painted green. And you could use green felt stuff or whatever. So that's behind the curtain. I'll let you in behind the curtain, all right? Real deal, people. Real talk in the man cave. But yeah, so for 200, if you have a computer, pretty decent computer, it could be, because this thing runs on Windows, OS X, which is Macintosh, and it might even run on Linux. I'm not even sure. 29 bucks for the software. You know, maximum is what they're asking. Does really a lot of stuff. Of course, you need a camera, but assuming that you have a computer or a laptop with all this stuff built in, then for another $200 or maybe $300, let's say, you know, a used monitor, or you have a monitor available to be able to monitor everything. So that's why if I'm looking to this way, my monitor's over there, and monitor and mixer board and a microphone, and you're all set. So it is coming up on 11 o'clock. I know a lot of people got to go to work tomorrow. I gotta take my kids to school. I gotta go to work. Got a lot of stuff to do. I'm trying to finalize some really important stuff, and that's what's going on. So I really want to thank everybody for joining me on this live broadcast of basically, you know, it's just some updates from the week. It's Sunday night here in Poland. Really nothing new going on. The important thing is, oh, okay, let's just recap. Okay, Las Vegas, nothing really new. A lot of theories and a lot of speculation going on. Okay. Hey, David, what's up? Welcome. Yeah, a lot of speculation going on, and there's really no answers. Really no answers. So it's really kind of frustrating, right? I think it's frustrating for most people that we don't have any answers, and it really kind of pisses me off. So that's Las Vegas, the Las Vegas stuff. The second thing is, how do I go back? Oh man, back. There we go. Oh, you're in Manchester. Awesome. Yeah. All right. California. Yeah. You know, well, I don't want to give it away. I'm gonna do a live stream when I get there. But there is a well-known California branded gas station has taken over some of these Polish brands, one of the Polish brands, and I want to do a video live stream there and tell people that, like, I'm in California, what's up? And it's, no, obviously not be true, but yeah, that's really frustrating, Łukasz. A lot of people are coming in. It's really frustrating that there is not more information about what's happened, what has happened in Vegas, because what happens in Vegas is not going to stay in Vegas this time, right? We need to know what happened. I mean, look, I don't know that we need to know all the details, but certainly there is a lot of stuff missing, right? Certainly including the motive. You know what I mean? What we do know for sure is that this was not a white supremacist Christian. Because if he was, the shooter was a white supremacist Christian, that would be all over the news. For sure, that would be all over the news, and the mainstream media would be running with that this was some white Christian, Nazi, neo-Nazi, whatever, white supremacist, and we have to ban all guns. So what they did was they skipped all that and just went right to the ban all gun stuff, right? Which is typical leftist narrative. It's what they want to do, right? That's what they want to do all along. So we know that. So really it points to either Antifa, which is leftist, or, yeah, definitely wouldn't be a country concert if the guy was a right-wing.
It's 11 o'clock.
So really it points to Antifa as being the motivation, anti-Trump, Trump Derangement Syndrome, TDS. I got a song called Trump Derangement Syndrome. You're welcome to check that out at holyjoe.bandcamp.com or at holyjoe.com or HJRR.org. 3 different URLs, but whatever. HJRR.org is the main one. So we know it's not a white guy. We know it's not a white supremacist, because if it was, it'd be all over the news. Second thing, news in Belgium, the shooter was a white man. Interesting. The second thing is, it's most likely either Al-Qaeda or anti-Trump person. That's really, I mean, what else could it be? Or the guy's just totally insane. But really, now there is the Scalise, the Congressman Scalise, who was shot by a similar aged man, a man in his 60s. This guy in Las Vegas was 64 years old. He was wealthy. The one in D.C. who shot up the congressman apparently was not really wealthy, but he was a 62-year-old guy, and they were both on the left. Yeah, the Antifa movement has been named a terrorist organization, and even some of the people on the left that were at least initially supporting it have come out against it, like Nancy Pelosi and those people, because they realize they're losing big, and if they don't come out against it, they're going to lose big in 2018. These midterm elections are really, I think it's going to be a blowout in favor of the Trump agenda, because all of these rhinos, I'm changing topics here, but all these Republicans, especially guys like John McCain, who for years and years and years said that he wanted to repeal and replace Obamacare, and he voted against it. Now, you might, whatever, don't even get into the weeds that he says, maybe he didn't, didn't like the bill, right? Because that's not really what came out. Really, what really came out is that John McCain, a man with a tumor, voted against it to hurt Trump, because Trump said he was not a hero, because he liked his heroes to not be captured. And it's well documented, well known that John McCain, he was shot down, he was captured, he was the son of an admiral, and he squealed like a little pig. He squealed like a little pig. He ratted like a little bitch. Now, he broke both of his arms, not from torture, but because he failed to pull his arms in when he ejected from his plane. Okay? That tells you what a dumbass he is. And he broke his leg upon landing, I believe. So, McCain is not a hero, and he needs to retire. There needs to be term limits for Congress. That was one of the things that Trump ran on towards the end, when he was in Gettysburg, did a speech at Gettysburg, that he was really going to drain the swamp, and part of that was term limits for Congress. And I might add, for the Supreme Court. So, 2018 is shaping up to be a huge win for the new right. And when I say new right, I'm not really trying to say, whatever, alt-right, new right, right light, whatever, anything. I'm just saying the new GOP. That's really I want to say, the new GOP, the Trump GOP. At least for now. Yeah, man. Oh, listen, talking about Obamacare, and it really doesn't compare with Polish socialized medicine, which I really like. I mean, look, it's messed up. It's probably not very efficient, whatever, but it does. I'll give you an example. Now, I have a new example. Okay, the first example was alt-right. Yeah, alt-right is okay. Okay. Listen, when one of my sons, my little son, was sick. He had like a little cyst under his eye. We didn't know what it was, like a pimple was growing. He's probably like 6 or 8 months old. We took him to the clinic here in Krakow, and whatever, somewhere in Krakow. I don't even know where it was. But there was like 100 sick old people in this clinic. I swear to God. And I said to his mom, I said, this is crazy, man. We're going to be here for hours. But she signed him in, and really, we sat down. I just started to get comfortable looking around at all these old people coughing and just looking like they're ready to die. And seriously, in 10 minutes, they called our name. We went up there. They checked him out. You know, they said it was like a pimple, some kind of, I don't know, maybe ingrown hair or something. They called it a cyst. They just popped it, and that was it. Boom, we left. And I was like, wow, this is working pretty good. And maybe a lot of these old people were there because they got nothing else to do, or maybe they are sick, or out of their waiting. I don't know. But now let's fast forward to, whatever. A family member broke their arm. Okay, just recently. And okay, it's a woman, so she broke her arm, and due to the fact that I have, I've been to medical school, but it's really not about that. Just first aid. It's so crazy, man. She was saying, "Oh, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. It just hurts," and her arm is like. I'm not trying to make fun of her, but her arm was all crooked. I'm like, oh my God, I'm saying, you broke your arm. Your arm is fucking broken, man. Or you broke your wrist, right? The arm is broken. So I went immediately into action. I knew I needed to put some ice on that, and I needed to splint it, right? So basically restrain it from moving, because it's going to hurt a lot more if it moves, right? There's broken bones in there. Nothing was sticking through the skin, right? So, but it was definitely multiple bone breakage. So I'm looking for some ice. I didn't have ice, but what I had was these frozen pops, basically it's frozen juice from Italy, frozen juice in a tube. They were frozen, and I immediately grabbed them, put them around the arm, got a towel, wrapped it real tight, and taped it up, and got her to the hospital, got her to the emergency room. And I gave her some ibuprofen that I had, probably like, I think I gave her 4 tablets, 300 milligrams strong, so that was a lot. I mean, she really, definitely I'm glad that I gave it to her. Now, she went to the Polish emergency room, and she waited, she told me to go home. So I said, okay, I mean, what am I going to do? I got kids at home. I couldn't stay with her. So I had to come home, take care of the kids, my kids. So, yeah, so it took she probably waited about 2 hours because people were coming in with, broken hip, broken this, broken that, and they finally got to her, and they kind of patched her up, put on a temporary bandage, and they said, call us in 2 days to come in for you need surgery to correct these bones. So, that worked out. Then it was more than 2 days later, I think probably like 4 days later, she finally got in. Yeah, probably like 4 days later, she finally got in, and she actually stayed in the hospital, I want to say two nights, waiting to get the surgery, because she's waiting to get the surgery to basically correct her arm, right, get the bones in the right position. I get to put some titanium in there to hold everything together, and yeah, and they finally did the surgery. And then she stayed overnight, and then asked me to pick her up, and I did. So, look, it worked out, and because of the socialized medicine, there really was no cost to her, but for that particular service, right? But it's not like it's free. I mean, it's not free. I've been working, she's been working, so we paid into the system for years, and I just saw my Zeus statement. For the last 10 years, and that's a huge chunk of money that I paid into Zeus. Well, that's retirement. That's separate from socialized medicine, but still, if I paid that much into Zeus, I probably paid about half again towards socialized medicine, which I believe is 13% of my take-home pay, or my gross, brutto of my brutto, which reduces my netto, or whatever. You guys, sometimes some people do the reverse. We say gross pay and net pay. Net pay is what you net after all the deductions. Gross should be brutto, and netto should be netto. I mean, I'm assuming, but anyhow. So yeah, but in the U.S., I feel bad about these people because, listen, I used to have insurance in the U.S. before Obamacare. I was working for a company, And for a single guy, it was like $130 a month. Of course, we're talking over 10 years ago. Now, when I put the family on board, I think it went to like $260, but that was for a wife and a son. Went to $260, yeah, $260 a month, and it was for an HMO. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Zeus is better than private USA system, but there is no private USA system for. Well, I mean, look, the private USA system was definitely really good. I mean, it never had any problems. I don't even know if there was a copay, but yeah, when I was in California, I did have to bring my son in, and I don't think there was any copay for the plan that I had, or maybe it was $30. If it was something, it was something very minimal, right? Something very affordable. Bring your son in to see a doctor. He had they put this wood chips down in the playground, and he was like not even 2 years old, and he grabbed some of these wood chips up, and it got splinters all in his hands, man, and it's just weird. So anyway, turns out that the doctor said, look, these little ones are going to come up by themselves, but he took out a couple of big ones, and that was it. And that, besides some kind of immunization that he had to get some shots, because there are all these, third world people flooding into California that been bringing in, supposedly diseases that have been extinct from the U.S. for a long time, but they're bringing them back. So that's what happened there. But yeah, so that private medical care was certainly, I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have any emergency care, really, but at least that private care is comparable to any of these private companies that I have done. Let's say like, I don't know, whatever these medical places like Medicover, Medicare, whatever. These different companies, very comparable, private versus private, is about the same. You make an appointment, usually get an appointment the next day or certainly within a week. See a doctor, take care of your business, and whether there's a copay or not, whatever, it is what it is, right? So private and private is working the same. Now, I have not been in any kind of Medicare or government, whatever system in the U.S. that I can compare to the Zeus system or the socialized medicine system. So I haven't experienced that, but the socialized medicine system here in Poland, at least for now, so far, knock on wood, has been okay. Okay, in those two cases that I mentioned. So I'm really happy about that. So, talked about the shooter, talked about John McCain. All these rhinos are going to get wiped out in the 2018 elections. We already saw this where one of these senators asked for Trump's endorsement for him to run for re-election, and Trump said no. And the guy's dropping out. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of rhinos that have been in Congress for a long time that are not pro-Trump. They're gonna get the boot. If they try to run, they're gonna be primaried out, a lot of them, and the ones that run they're gonna lose. They're gonna get primaried out. They're not gonna get the support of the GOP, which Trump controls the GOP. So these midterm elections, and if we see this Antifa stuff continue, it's just more and more people are waking up. More and more people are getting red-pilled. More and more people are realizing that the left has joined forces with radical Islam and the oligarchs and the homosexuals to destroy America. And they all have their separate reasons, but they all have the same goal, to destroy America, right? Faggots want to destroy America because they hate America, because they're gay. The Antifa wants to destroy America because they're actually like anarchists or whatever they think. They think communism is going to take over. They're fucked up. Islam wants to destroy America because they want to bring in Islam, right? So, yeah, Poland is pretty awesome, David. That's why I'm here. I've been here for over 10 years, and I have no plans to go back. Okay, I got to tell you a real quick side story. I always said, and I told my wife this, and this has been in the back of my mind, if I got this amazing request, or not request, job offer or career possibility to go back to the U.S., basically a huge salary with a golden parachute, with certain options, I would definitely have to consider it. Now, just this past week, a headhunter actually approached me about a job at a major IT company, one that everybody knows. And I said, listen, in order for me to work there, it's in Northern California, Silicon Valley. In order for me to work there, I have to get X amount of dollars. The guy said right away, yeah, man, we just hired a guy for a little bit less. I'm pretty sure I can get it. Fill out this paperwork. Yeah. Fill out some paperwork and I'll submit it. Right? And it was with a major, what do you call it? IT technology company, whatever. So again, it's not the company itself, but it's through an agency that's hiring the person, probably has a contract for IT support. So, you know, put in the offer, and I told my wife, look, if I get this deal, I'm going to go back to the U.S. for this job. Maybe I'll just work there for 1 year. I'll save up as much money as I can, and I'll come back. No, that's the plan. But then the guy comes back a week later, or not even a week later, and says they don't want to pay that much. So whatever, I'm not going. You're not going to pay that much. I'm not going. You know, that's what it needs to be for me to move. So I'm here for good, pretty much. So that's where that's at, right there. What else? What were we talking about? So, okay, yeah, I got nothing written down. This is just from memory. Yeah, there's no problem to work in IT in Poland. The question is salary. Okay, the question is salary. I have a set of rare skills that I have acquired over a long history. What does that sound like? The guy from Taken? You don't know me. But I have a set of I have a unique set of skills acquired over a long career. I will find you. I will look for you. And I will kill you. Let her go now. And I'll forget about you. Whatever. Anyhow, yeah. Yeah, so I got a really unique set of skills, which it's deep niche, and it's very valuable for people who need this skill set, okay? And they need to pay. And, you know, I had an offer for a company in Switzerland that would pay, but then a week later they said the job is gone. Turns out the job was actually in Poland, so I applied for the job in Poland, and they were going to pay, you know, maybe like a fifth. You know, I don't mind paying half or a third, but like a fifth of the salary in Switzerland, and it was not in Krakow. I have to move to another city, so it's like it makes no sense. It was less money than I was making already. So, but yeah, there's a really strong IT industry here, and it's growing in all the major cities. I mean, all the major cities. You're seeing it whether it be outsourcing or actually software development or engineering or even some kind of manufacturing. There's a lot of stuff here, a lot of opportunities here if you want to stay here, live here. And look, if you're a young single person, the money's really good. I mean, it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's just that, you know, if you're a more senior person, you want to be compensated. And I'm in my peak earning years right now, so I need to get paid. So the good thing is that, you know, I'm in a pretty good position where I don't have to. I don't want to say I don't have to work. I want to work, but I really don't have to work. Right? I've made enough money. I've been successful in my career and did a lot of investments that have paid off. Not all of them have paid off. Right? Certainly I've lost money, but net I'm up. So I'm able to, with my certain, you know, obviously it depends on your lifestyle. With my current lifestyle, I'm able to, you know, do what I want to do. And this is one of the things I want to do, but I am in the process of looking for a new opportunity here in Poland. I've got some offers, and they need to follow up. I really don't want to leave Poland. I have some offers to go to other countries in Europe, and they all just turn out to be shit stains. You know what I mean? You know, they just when you actually do the calculation on what it's going to cost to live there, what it's going to cost to come back home, because I'm not moving my family, because it makes no sense. You lose money, man. That's why I got the man cave, baby. We can talk. Just huddle up. We can discuss these things, man. You know, it's not always the job that pays the most. There's always other issues that have to be thought about, right? And I'll accept less money here, even with my deep niche technology pedigree and experience and the value that I bring to the table, if it's the right deal, right? You know, but it's like when a company says, "Oh, here's what we got," Yeah, I mean, yeah, both here and there, David. Both here and there, I've been able to save by just having a different mindset. The mindset you want to have is, look, whatever amount of money you're making, you just have to try to live below your means, right? I mean, if you're making $100 a week, just, you know, throw out a number, try to live on 75. I mean, the difference between 100 and 75 is not that much different, right? Because look, I learned the hard way. My first job out of college, I was making pretty good money. It wasn't making a lot of money, but you know, you're making quote unquote a lot of money, right? And what did I do, man? I honestly didn't exercise a lot of fiscal discipline. I still had a pretty cheap apartment. I had a pretty decent car, but it got into a wreck. Then I had to buy a used car that was a gas guzzler, and that kind of, you know, messed me up a little bit. And then I really didn't have a lot of expenses, but taxes were getting a beating on taxes. And I really, you know, after like a year, I didn't have anything saved up. And then I talked to a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, and this is a woman who, honestly, this is going to make you laugh, but this woman worked at Burger King through college. Okay, now she did have some help from her family to pay for college. So when she graduated college, not only was she debt free, but she had saved up $10,000, right? And yeah. So and when she told me that, and I'm look, here I am, I graduated from college, and even though I had been working through college as well, I just basically had, you know, $300. I mean, I had nothing saved up, right? It's just all mindset. And whatever. Obviously, men are different than women. When we were about the same age, obviously she wasn't really dating that much at that time. I was dating somewhat. So you're spending money. It's whatever. You're wasting money in a way. You're spending money, whatever. But anyways, that was kind of one of the light bulb moments where I was like, wow, you know, how did she's working at Burger King making minimum wage, and probably at the time was probably like $4.25 an hour. You know, we're talking a long time ago. And she was able to save $10,000. So I was like, wow, I need to get my shit together and think about what I'm spending my stuff on. You know, set up a budget, start looking at different things. Anyways, that's really the mindset, okay? So once you get into that mindset, you know, stop eating out, bring a sandwich to work at least a couple times a week, right? I mean, look, if you ever work with people from China or even Japan, especially these immigrants, they never go out to eat, almost never go out to eat. They're always bringing in a little Tupperware with rice, a piece of fish, and some green shit. Have you ever seen this? They pop it in the microwave, the kitchen smells like shit, and that's what they eat. And maybe they'll have a Coke or iced tea or something. And, you know, meanwhile, you went out down the street to a fast food place, you spent $12, right? What did that cost them? Probably, you know, $1, because it's leftovers from the night before at home, right? Anyway, you start noticing these things, how you could save. If you could save $12 a day, think about that. $12 a day is actually quite a lot of money. That's, yeah, what is that? $12 a day times 20? 20 a month, $240 a month, something like that. That's funny as hell, man. Saying Wukash is saying that's the same thing as Polish people in the UK. Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, exactly. Because you guys, you know, you're thinking about it, right? Because obviously, if you came from Poland and you're saying, "Wow, I can get a zest off at, you know, whatever, at the cantina close to my office for 12 zlotys," and you're going to charge me 19 pounds? Fuck that, right? I could just boil some potatoes, bring a piece of skabova from last night, and I don't know what, a piece of bread or whatever, some coleslaw, and eat that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's really smart. That's really smart, and that's not only saving some time because you don't have to leave the building, go out, you know, whatever, wait in line, get the food, sit down, eat it. You just boom, go to the break room, whatever you got to do, either heat it up or it's cool. Yeah, man, about 40 zlotys per day in the UK for something that costs 12 zlotys here. Now, of course, look, the economies are different, the prices are different, the currencies are different. It's all relative, right? So, you know, I mean, maybe if it's 40 zlotys per day there, you know, maybe instead of making, you know, I don't know, let's say, throw out a number, instead of making 100 zlotys a day in Poland, you're probably making 500 zlotys a day in the UK. Whatever, you know, right? You probably, hopefully. So it's not like it's It's not like it's, you know, the price is 10 times, the price is 4 times more, but yeah, you're probably making about 4 times more money in the UK, hopefully. Or maybe, let's say you're making 3 times as much more, right? So it is possible, yeah, definitely work it out like that. So what am I, we were just rambling about saving money. Yeah, so that's it. So that's what happened. So you get into the mindset and then you just start thinking like, what do I need? I don't need that. And you know, it's hard sometimes teaching your mate, you know, I got my wife, because they don't understand that, man, right? So because sometimes they want certain material possessions, and you're like, what do we need it for? Why do we need this? You know, what's the value proposition? And these are just questions you need to ask. But once you can get that person, and actually I've got a great Polish wife, and it's not even a problem, but sometimes it is for some of the bigger ticket items. But sometimes it's not. You know what I mean? Like the difference between a refrigerator that self-defrosts and one that does not self-defrost, it's probably like 300 zlotys, like, you know, $75. It's definitely worth the investment. Spend the extra $75 or 300 zlotys for the refrigerator that self-defrosts, because you don't have to deal with defrosting the fridge every so often, risking, you know, puncturing one of the coolant rods, whatever, right, and losing all the freon or the coolant and destroying the refrigerator, stuff like that. So that's not a big issue. It's not about, oh, I'm going to save 300 zlotys by buying this shit fridge that I got to scrape out the ice every 6 months. No, you got to be smart about that. But yeah, definitely. There's also the food that's available in the Western countries is typically not so healthy for you, right? A lot of fast food, a lot of greasy foods, a lot of whatever, if it's GMO'd or if it's just overly processed, right? Overly processed. That's what's great about traditional Polish food. I mean, it's how processed is skabowa. I mean, it's a piece of pork loin, you slice it, you pound it, you bread it, you fry it. I mean, that's pretty much not very much processing. Now, kabanose, on the other hand, I mean, that's just ground up pork, put into a intestine and dried or smoke cured. So I mean, you might say that's a little bit more processing, but compared to what? Compared to, you know, something that's like, say, bologna, or right, which is meat that's ground up, put through or hot dogs, right? Although the Polish hot dogs probably are less processed than the American ones, certainly taste different, taste better, and probably don't have all the preservatives in it that the American ones do. Which is really I think is the biggest problem with these damn things, is the damn preservatives. With you know, the hot dogs, the nitrates and all that kind of crap. So, wow. Yeah, this lighting looks pretty good, man. Now, finally, probably do need some more front-facing lighting. Oh, where's my little thing, man? I have a little flashlight over here. Can't see it. Oh, I wonder if this will make a difference. Although the light's in my face, man. Bam. Just for a second, try to get it off camera. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I need some front. If I had some more front fill lighting, and I can work on that. Just to brighten up the front field. It would make this picture look better, but it still looks pretty good. So I don't know how we got off on this tangent, man. Just the live chat brought me off on the tangent on, you know, being able to save money, working on the budget and stuff like that. I'm green. Am I green? Did I mess up something? According to this, looks good. Oh yeah, because of the green screen, man. Because of the green screen. Definitely got the green halo, probably. What else? There's 3 things I want to talk about. So, Las Vegas, right? I'm a native English speaker, so I taught my kids English, but my wife is a native Polish speaker, so she taught them Polish, and they're bilingual. So it's pretty cool. My Polish is pretty, it's not bad. It's not good. It's not great, but it's pretty decent. I have a video if you want to look for it. It's, whatever, it's about Oni powiedział, że polska jest trudny język. Oh, jest polski tak trudne? I think it was the name of the video. Is Polish so hard? And I speak Polish. I'm just live and unscripted, just started talking to the thing. It sort of explained my story on how I came to learn Polish. Even after my Polish friends said that it would be impossible for me to learn Polish. But wszystko jest możliwe. Wszystko. Everything's possible if you want to learn it. You know, just got to takes the time and got to have the motivation to do it. I mean, it may be harder when you get older to learn a new language, but certainly is possible. That's the whole point. So that's all I'm trying to say. What else? So Las Vegas, they're holding back, right? It really pisses me off that we don't have definitive information, like this was ISIS, like, or whatever. But hopefully, if they're holding back information because they're going to basically round up a bunch of bad people and put them in jail, throw the book at them, okay, that's great. Let's hold up for that. Second thing is this football player who has not been working, Colin Kaepernick, or whatever the guy's name is. Basically, the half-white, half-black guy who was taking the knee, who started this whole trend. He basically came out saying that he will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance if he could play again. The NFL has also said that their players are going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. This is a huge win for the Make America Great Again, the pro-Trump forces, basically who just want to return America to its roots. It's a great country. It's not perfect. No country is. But it is a pretty damn good country if you can make it work for you, right? I'm not saying everybody can make America work, and that's why there should not be a welfare system in America. If you can't make it work for you, get the fuck out, go home, go back to where you came from. And really, that's one thing that's great about Poland, is that there really is not a very comfortable welfare program. There is no welfare program per se, right? If you lose your job, yeah, there is some support for minimal support, but it's not very big, right? I think maybe it's 60 euros a month. So, even in Poland that sucks. But compared to 600 euros in Germany. So if you're a refugee, you're going to go to Germany, right? Get that 600 euros. Make that work and get some free housing or whatever. So, and whatever, hang out in some mosque, because there's not very many mosques here, thank God. And God willing, there won't be any more. There won't be any more mosques in Poland. But I digress. Anyhow, so this guy's saying that he's going to, whatever. He's unemployed. It's too late. The guy blew his wad and he's gone, right? I don't think anybody would be in the right mind would hire this guy because he's just trouble. He's been trouble the whole time. And it's just, it's not even about the controversy. He wasn't playing so well. That's why he was let go. And he kind of elevated himself in a negative way by making this a Black Lives Matter thing, which has been thoroughly debunked as total nonsense, the whole Black Lives Matter thing. So that's that one. The third one is regarding, we didn't get to it. This freaking movie producer, Walter, was it Walter? What the hell's his name, man? Freaking Weinstein, was that his name? This Weinstein douchebag basically has been reported for that for decades, literally decades. He's been a pervert, a sexual predator. Not only just the casting couch, but also hang on, what the hell? Weinstein? The Weinstein brothers. No, not Weinstein. Whatever this guy's name. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, there it is. It's Harvey. Harvey Weinstein. Sexual harassment scandal poses serious business challenges for the Weinstein. So Harvey Weinstein, this whole thing. Now remember, Trump made a locker room comment about when you're a celebrity, they let you grab them by the pussy. All right, that's a paraphrase, but that's what he was saying. When you're a celebrity, you know, these women that love you, that like you, that are into you, they let you grab them by the pussy. Now, that's totally different than what the Weinstein brother was doing. Harvey Weinstein was doing the whole stereotypical casting couch bullshit. You know, beautiful girl or a young aspiring actress comes to him looking for work, and basically it's like, you know, get on the couch and I'll help you out. And it's really disgusting when you look at that. That's totally different. A totally different thing than saying that they let you do certain things because you're a celebrity. This is somebody really harassing someone, taking advantage of them to get something out of it. You know, if you are a celebrity and women are throwing themselves at you, that's totally different. They want it, right? They're not that they're asking for it, but they want it. They're open to it, right? Versus someone who's looking for a job, and you're saying that in order to get anything, you need to do this, right? Now, the reason why I bring that up is because the left was so angry about Trump and what he said, and calling him all kinds of names. Let's throw that up on screen here in the war room, in the man cave, right? This guy, this fat fuck right here. Fucking fat fuck right there. Yeah. Hanging out. Yeah, white kids. Yeah, that was another thing. Yeah. But this dude, Weinstein, can't open the page. I don't know why. Forbes. Can't open the page. So let me open the page. Whatever. But where's the outrage from the left? Where's the outrage from the same people that were totally outraged? And then, of course, a lot of women, most of them were fake, phony frauds, came out trying to say that Trump had sexually harassed them. And some of the stories were complete nonsense. There he is. This is a fat fuck right here. Harvey Weinstein. And can we hear him?
So Harvey Weinstein is making headlines after the New York Times released a revealing expose releasing information that there are sexual misconduct claims against Weinstein from everyone from employees to even actress Ashley Judd. The article states first-person accounts from Weinstein's alleged conduct, including from Judd, who recounts an incident from 2 decades ago in which she was asked to meet Weinstein in his hotel room.
Stop right there. 2 decades ago. 2 decades ago. This has been going on for 20 years. At least 20 years. Now, how many of these actresses have come out against him in the last 20 years? None. Right? Until now. Okay? Until now, it's out, right? That this guy is probably a pedophile. Well, no, I don't want to say he's a pedophile. We don't have any evidence of that. Certainly, he's sexually harassing people, and that's really atrocious. But where is the outrage from the left? Okay, where is the outrage?
He greeted her wearing a bathrobe, and then he asked her to give him a massage or watch him shower. Now, Harvey Weinstein has issued a statement saying, in part, "I appreciate the way I've behaved with colleagues in the past has caused a lot of pain, and I sincerely apologize for it." Harvey Weinstein states also, "I so respect all women and regret what happened." And Weinstein denies many of the accusations as patently false. Harvey Weinstein is now suing the New York Times for this article.
Thanks, Brandy.
Good luck with that, man. Good luck with that. I love to be in the room for the deposition, right? When you could have sued the New York Times. Now, the failing New York Times is a piece of shit newspaper for the most part, but they're the ones who broke this story, okay? They're the ones who broke this story. And that's amazing that, you know, the New York Times, look, I guess like a broken clock, it can be correct, it can be right twice a day. And that's what we probably are seeing here, is that the New York Times was right twice a day, broke this story, and, you know, what can I say? You know, it's a real story, and, you know, I want to see the left go after this guy. Now, like they did Trump, but you're not seeing it, you know, and these actresses like what then they mentioned her name, who's been an anti-Trumper. Oh God, this dude's sick, man. This dude, that's the guy. Look, I hate to make fun of people the way they look, but come on, man. Very little attraction, very little attractiveness, and it's biological, it's genetic. It's not his fault that he was born that way. But a lot of people said that women were sexually harassed and asked to do certain things. Now, one thing that came out, one of these other YouTubers said, look, think about it this way. If you're in this business, if you're in the Hollywood business, and you are having to do certain things like this to get the job, number one, you are showing that you can be bought and paid for, right? You can be paid, you can be controlled, basically. You can be made to do certain things. And the second thing is, they got something on you. They can blackmail you, right? Like, I know how you got the job. You sucked the guy's dick or whatever. You right? I know how you got the job, right? So if you want a job with me, blah blah blah, right? Whatever. I mean, it's just horrible, man. I'm really happy to say that none of these types of I've never been put in that kind of situation. Is what I'm trying to say. And I'm kind of thankful for that, right? I'm glad of that, right? So that's cool. I never had to face that, but definitely, God, man, for God's sakes, I couldn't even think about contemplating, whatever, a man or a woman. I mean, look, it depends. Obviously, if it's a beautiful woman, see, that's the whole fantasy, right? Oh, it's a beautiful woman. She, in order to get the job, you got to do something for her. That's not typical, right? If it's a beautiful woman, she doesn't need to do that, right? She's got people interested in her. Just like this disgusting fat fuck of a man, if he had options, he would be accessing those options, right? And that's what Trump was saying about him. The dude has options, and he doesn't need to do this crazy shit. They let you. He was saying they let you. Whereas this guy is a freaking sexual predator and I would say sexual predator, not just a sexual harasser. Freaking predator that he would do this to women. It's just obvious, right? Just freaking obvious. So that's the one thing that I didn't get to earlier, the Weinstein situation. And it's fucked up, man. As fucked up as it is, excuse my language, it's after 11 o'clock. It's quarter till 12. Half past monkey's balls, half past monkey's ass, quarter to his balls. You guys remember that? People would say when you was a kid, what time is it? And if you have one of those Mickey Mouse watches, this is not a Mickey Mouse watch, but if you have one of those Mickey Mouse watches, right, has a Mickey Mouse standing there or whatever, and people would joke, it's half past monkey's ass, quarter to his balls. Hey, we're in the man cave, baby. We can talk like this. We're in the man cave. But yeah, man. Yeah, supposedly that's what happened. It was a lot of this couch, what do they call it, the couch interview. Yeah, terrible, man. It's terrible. But it is what it is, and hopefully, we'll see what happens. But I don't think he's going to be really serious about suing New York Times, because when we have the if there is a deposition, it's both ways, right? So his lawyers will be able to depose New York Times, but New York Times will be able to depose this Harvey guy, Harvey Weinstein, and that's not going to be pretty when they start asking him the deep questions about his sexual conduct or his misconduct with all these women who have accused him. So, I mean, it's a stupid thing. He's not going to be suing anybody. He's out of business pretty much. I mean, he could maybe come back. Maybe come back. He's got money, so maybe he could do something. But who knows? So Las Vegas, Weinstein, NFL, Kaepernick, whatever the freak the guy's name is. Those are the big issues of this past week or so, and at least two of them have been resolved. Right, Weinstein is out of his business. People have been resigned or quit from the business. Kaepernick, he's not going to be playing. NFL basically lost. This is a huge win for the new GOP, for the Trump Make America Great Again contingent. And Trump was right again. I mean, look, I'm not trying to kiss the guy's ass. I'm not saying he's perfect, but You can tell he's got a good heart. Right? He really wants to make America great again for all the people, all citizens. And maybe he has too big of a heart with his DACA shit. Let's talk about that real quick. That's one thing I didn't get to. I mean, we're, oh my God, 26 minutes into this. Wow. And no frames dropped. No frames dropped. That's pretty awesome. Average CPU utilization is 13%. This is a i7. 16%. With this, just a static frame and then me in it. So, if you're curious. Yeah, this the whole DACA thing, man. Trump ran on deporting illegal aliens that they have to go back, and then they can reapply. And that's really what I think should happen. I don't think that, people are thinking that Trump, and look, he did say that he would revisit this issue if Congress does not act. Okay, they got 6 months to act, okay? Now, I guess there's two ways to think about this. Number one, some people are thinking, okay, Trump, he's screwing us over. He's gonna give in to these Democrats. He's leftists. He's gonna approve these guys. Whatever. Give them a chance for citizenship or whatever. Give them amnesty. And I don't think it's gonna happen. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think what's gonna happen, and you can kind of see the writing on the wall. There is no Congress right now that can pass legalization of the illegals, the DACA people. Archie, what's up, man? How you doing? There's no way that Congress is going to be able to pass something like that and then keep their jobs. Okay, and if Trump were to sign some kind of bill that gave these illegals amnesty, unfortunately, the Trump train, he would be off the Trump train. Now, Trump has always said, this is really important, that it's not about him, he's just a messenger. It's a movement. Trump is just a messenger. And that's true, and that's what people got to remember. Trump is just a messenger for the movement. Okay, it's an important movement, and he's just a messenger, right? But if he jumps off the Trump train and he gets kicked off, that's his fault, that's on him. There are other leaders that will step to the front and continue this movement. But this movement is, the pendulum has swung back, and it's still moving back and to the right. And that's just right of center. That's just where it is. Americans want to take their country back. They want to have laws enforced. They want to have their borders protected. And they don't want people coming into the country, depressing wages, creating crime, and destroying the country. I mean, there's really good parallels between the United States and Poland, or at least the V4, which have a similar kind of an attitude where they are very patriotic to their country, to their peoples. They want to protect their peoples. The governments want to do that. The people want to do that. And by and large, there's just no way you're going to change that in America. Now, the communists, the leftists, even the neocons, the globalists, they've been all trying to destroy the fabric of society in America since World War II, even before that, since 1919, since the Communist Revolution. And they couldn't win on any kind of intellectual argument because, especially after Khrushchev came out and exposed Stalin for the bastard that he was, and of course, was it the Gulag a cappella by Stolshansky? When that book came out, exposing all the stuff that was happening under Stalin and communism, communism is dead. It's just not going to happen. So what they decided to do is try to divide Americans based on race, and the first avant-garde was the African Americans, right, to get them equal rights, and that probably was a good thing to give them. They should have equal rights, right? Yeah, definitely. Western democracies derive their historical and cultural ancestry to Christianity, really. Roman, let's call it Greco-Roman Christianity, right? The logic part from Socrates or from Plato, this sort of rational logic stuff, philosophy influencing obviously Rome bringing us another stuff, and Christianity bringing us logos, right, which is the rational order of things, and then incorporating some of the philosophical things and rational things from the Greeks and the Romans into like how we interpret it, how we understand God's word, what Jesus said, and that's the root of Western civilization. I mean, there's a book out there, it is on the torrents, called How the Catholic Church Created Western Civilization. Really very important book. I mean, that really puts to rest these fantasies about how Islam did this or that. Islam didn't do shit. All it did was destroy shit, for the most part. Okay? And that's where we're at. But I think the U.S. will survive communism. It has survived communism, and it has resisted communism. And for the most part, you can see with the Trump revolution, the move to the right, center-right that has happened in America since the Trump train has started. Trump has said he's just a messenger, and this movement is not going to stop. And it's moving, I think, worldwide as more and more peoples, and even in Western Europe, they're starting to wake up and realize, look, this has got to stop. Now, maybe they don't have a good understanding of how to make it stop or what to do now, but they know that this has to stop. So I think that's what's going to happen. Other things, I don't want to make a prediction here, but listen, you have you guys know Coach Red Pill? Really a great channel. I recommend you watch him. But he is really pessimistic. He claims to be realistic that Western Europe is over. Okay? And that's his sort of assessment. And it is based on sort of a logical analysis of the demographics, the demographic winner, Western women not having babies, this whole feminism stuff. And there's a lot of truth to that. And it may very well be game over for most of Western Europe, including the UK, he says. But for every action, there's always a reaction, and there is no known understanding of what the reaction will be, and whether it'll come out of nowhere, right? I mean, there was the so-called final solution for the Jewish people when the Nazi regime came up, and the Nazi regime was a reaction to the Versailles Treaty, which was destroying the German people, right? I mean, really, World War I and World War II are basically the same conflict, just stretched out. It's a really continuation of World War I. World War II is because of the really horrible peace treaty, or so-called Versailles Treaty, that was impressed upon the Germans. Now, you saw what happened there. And there was probably, what, they said only like 14% of the Germans people were actually in the Nazi party or part of the Nazi organization. And you can see what they did, what they were able to do. So to say that Western Europe is over and all is lost, and that there will not be some kind of a reaction, I hate for it to be a violent reaction. Right now we're in the part where we can talk about it and say, listen, you people are not here legally, or you refuse to assimilate, so you need to leave. You know, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to make a prediction, but you can see the writing on the wall that it's not going to end well for both parties. But especially, well, for both parties. Let's put it like that. For people in the West, and also for these so-called invaders, hashtag Islam sucks balls people, who have no intention of assimilating. Those people are going to really, it's not going to be good. It's definitely not going to be good for them. So, can I play an ad? Let's see what happens here. Some of my viewers may see an ad based on that. Keep on streaming, it says, but some of you may see an ad. So if you do see an ad, hit me in the comments. What else? Last thing is what's the last thing? Can't think of what else is next, but definitely Archie is right. You know, it may have been that the unfortunate shit that Eastern Europe, Central and Eastern Europe had to go through, being under communist occupation by the Soviet Union for, what was it, 50 years, that in fact inoculated or provided a cure or for the problem that Western Europe is now experiencing, right? That it's comfortable here in Poland, but it's probably not, it's definitely not as comfortable as it is in the US or in Western Europe, okay? 40 years of communism, right? Now 46 to 89, right? So 46, 86, 42 years, okay, 42 years. I mean, look, but you could have certainly have a decent life here in Poland, a very comfortable life. You know, but is it as comfortable? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It may not be as comfortable. But it's not like living in, I don't know, in you know, a third world country. It's definitely not like that. You can see I got the man cave right here. The man cave. I mean, you can't get this man cave like this in the third world, can you? I mean, maybe. Well, anyways, this is the man cave, baby. This is the man cave. See, I got my bookshelf. I got my desk back there. I got my couch. I got the security lights outside so that everybody can see, right? So we can see what's going on. Oh, 45 to 89. Okay, 44 years. Right. Thank you, Archie, for correcting that. So anyhow, this has been live and unscripted. I'm HolyJoe Rock and Roll. Welcome to the man cave. I think I'm going to keep this. I'll keep the man cave, right? I won't redecorate. Thumb it up if you like the man cave, and we'll do some more man cave. We'll just shoot the shit. You know, you guys can join me in the live chat and or Skype. The Skype username is holyjoe, one word, space rock. holyjoe space rock. And we can continue this conversation. I'm going to try to do this on a more regular basis. I'm going to lose my voice. But it's coming up. It's 11:55 here, Central European Time. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining me here in the man cave. All right, this is the new thing, the man cave. I really want to thank everybody for joining me here today, and remind you to make it happen for the captain, because you're the captain. All right. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you real soon.